We left Bimini a few days ago, planning for 3 days of motor sailing and 2 nights at anchor headed for the Exumas. But at our anchorage on the Bahama Banks Northwest Channel, securely anchored to try to get some sleep before our early morning alarm, Jeff shook me at 1 a.m., telling me to get up, our anchor's dragging. Just the day before, I had asked him what would we ever do if our anchor started dragging, and he said, no big deal, we just turn on the engine right away, move back to a safe spot, and reset the anchor. Great, this is great news, I feel safe now. But we didn't talk about what would happen if our engine chose this moment to fail. No freaking way that would happen. But that's just what happened. Jeff sprung into action and immediately started troubleshooting and looking through manuals to try to work the problem, as we hadn't drug very far yet. And he gave me the anchor monitor alarm to make sure we didn't start moving more. After about 15 minutes of going through his checklist of possibilities, the boat started moving again, faster. So Jeff did what Jeff does and what he's known how to do since he was a kid on his sunfish, and he put up the sails and got the boat turned in the right direction and sailed away from the 3 boats sound asleep around us. Off we went into the dark at 1:30 a.m. Once we were under sail and in control, I took the wheel for a bit while he looked at navigation charts and wind and wave forecasts to try to find the best place to reroute us with no working engine. We knew it would be a long sail with the winds working against us, but he chose the Berry Islands as our best option with a lot of tacking back and forth to make any forward progress. The situation was not what we had planned, but once we got moving, the stars were beautiful, the silent darkness with no engine was peaceful, and we realized that we really were a great team that can do whatever is needed in a scary situation. 6 hours later, we saw a beautiful sunrise. Then a couple of hours after that, as Jeff was retrying things for the 100th time, he stuck his head in a different compartment to listen to the clicking sound that we could hear when we tried to start the engine, and he realized the sound was coming from a different direction than the engine. So he followed the sound and found a broken wire in an unlikely spot, hot-wired the connection, and told me, try it again. We never thought we would be so happy to hear the engine. Sailors don't like engines. We'd made it almost all the way to the Berries. A trip that would have taken 5 hours took 12. And now we would be able to maneuver through the narrow cut to the marina and into the dock, which we wouldn't have been able to do without our engine. So we didn't make it to the Exumas, but we made it to the Berries. Stingrays were swimming under our boat as we arrived, and we've seen a couple of lemon sharks, and we're ready to start exploring in our dinghy for more rays and sharks, and maybe catch a lobster or 2. So it was all worth it. We found a great marina in the Berries and a great mechanic, and we'll be here for about a week waiting for a new alternator to be flown in. So we'll have everything fixed and in good working order, and we're having an emergency startup button wired into the boat. Then we'll probably make another attempt for the Exumas, or maybe Eleuthera, or wherever the wind decides to take us. So we're sorry to anyone who was worried about us, our friends back home, and thanks so much to Karen and Carl Dickinson and Harry and Alicia Clayton for going to so much effort to try to be in communication with us and helping us work the problem when we were out of phone and internet reach. So we really appreciate our great sailing friends. And we'll talk to you all soon.